too, are among the most intelligent, with their unique language skills and orchestrated hunting techniques. And anyone with a dog is constantly surprised at complex feats of social intelligence and emotional sensitivity. Intelligence seems to thrive in animals like this, mammals, often carnivorous ones, that live in tight social groups. But if we survey the world of animals, one of the smartest is one that is perhaps unexpected. An animal that isn't a mammal at all, but a bird, crows, or more generally, corvids. Corvids are mischievous, playful, and extremely intelligent. They use tools to forage and to solve complex problems. They even drop nuts on a road for cars to crack, and then pick them up with the safety of pedestrian lights. They can also recognize faces, and can hold a grudge against someone who was rude to them for several years. They can mimic sounds that they hear, and scientists have found that their problem-solving skills rival that of a 7-year-old human. How is it that crows are so profoundly intelligent? And how is it that we even measure their intelligence in the first place? Is bird intelligence wired in the same way as mammal intelligence? Or is it something different altogether? The corvid family is also known as the crow family, and includes crows, jays, ravens, rooks, and magpies. The level of intelligence varies between the species, but scientists have found that the New Caledonian crow is the most intelligent. They're to corvids what we are to the rest of the primates. In 2014, the crows were presented with various tubes filled with water, with a treat floating on top, which they couldn't quite reach. In one trial, when presented with a treat inside a tube of water, and a treat sitting on top of sand, the crows knew to drop rocks into the water-filled tube to raise the water level to reach the treat, and ignored the tube with sand. In the next trial, when presented with a single tube of water and objects with various densities, the crows knew to select the sinking objects rather than the floating ones to reach the treat. When presented with 2 tubes of differing water levels, the crows knew to drop objects in the tube with the higher water level to reach the treat faster. These trials demonstrated the crows' abilities in both problem-solving and tool use, and the authors believe that their skill level at deciphering and completing these tasks is similar to 5 to 7-year-old children. However, in 2 more challenging tasks, the crows didn't perform as well. One required understanding the difference in a wide tube versus a narrow tube, and another was a counterintuitive task, where the tube with the reward was connected to another tube via a hidden U-bend. The crows didn't fully grasp these setups, but in comparison, during tests with human children, only kids around 8 years old were able to consistently solve such tests. And in addition to using tools, New Caledonian crows can build tools. And not just simple ones, but ones with multiple parts. When given objects that were too short to retrieve food from a puzzle box, the crows combined elements by inserting one stick into the hollowed opening of another to make a tool long enough to reach the food. One crow even made 3- and 4-part tools. Compound tool construction like this has only been observed outside humans in a few captive great apes. It's usually only associated with human intelligence. And in addition to this, we now think crows might be better than we ever could have imagined at making plans for the future. The ability to take actions now that will give a benefit later is not something that most animals are good at. Delayed gratification and planning are high-order skills. Human children can't do this, and neither can many of the adults that I know. It requires our memory of the past and foresight for future events, Can crows of all animals really possess this ability? In a study published in 2020, New Caledonian crows were first shown one of 3 puzzle boxes that they already knew how to open, each requiring a specific tool. They were then removed from the test area for 5 minutes before being presented with 5 different objects. 1 tool for each of the boxes and 2 distraction objects. After selecting an object and waiting 10 minutes, they were allowed back into the test area. The researchers discovered that not only did the birds choose the correct tool that would open the corresponding puzzle box, but they would remember to bring the tool with them into the test area. In another study, researchers presented the birds with a locked box with a treat in a similar manner. But this time, the birds were then presented with an assortment of items, including the correct tool, a few distractor tools, and an immediate food reward, but one that was less appealing than the one in the locked box. And most of the time, the birds took the risk and delayed their gratification, kept the correct tool, and later opened the box with the better treat. This might seem easy to us, but it isn't. Only once human children reach 5 years old does this ability arise. And even then, it doesn't in all of them. For some, it takes a few more years. These mental skills certainly set crows apart from other animals, with their actions and abilities more in line with the smartest of the primates. How does this bird give the most intelligent primates a run for their money? Why does a bird need to be this smart? Even though crows may have a similar intelligence to many primates, bird brains and primate brains are not at all the same. Birds and mammals split on the evolutionary tree 320 million years ago. And since then, their brains have become quite distinct from one another, making scientists question exactly why corvids are so smart. In vertebrates, the pallium is the gray and white matter that covers the brain. Before the evolutionary split, both birds and mammals evolved a large pallium. But after their lineages split, the mammalian pallium evolved into a layered structure known as the cerebral cortex. This is the most complex structure of the mammalian brain. Each layer contains nerve fibers running horizontally and vertically that process and transmit information. Here is where many important functions take place, including learning, memory, sensory perception, and conceptual thinking. Birds don't have a cerebral cortex, but a study published in 2020 found that the fibers and circuitry in the bird pallium are organized very similarly to a mammalian neocortex, with fibers running both horizontally and vertically. The authors believe this explains where bird intelligence comes from. Another reason why birds were initially thought to be incapable of this level of intelligence was due to the small size of their brains. But it's not the absolute size of an animal's brain that matters, but the brain-to-body ratio. Crows tend to have big brains compared to their body size. In mammals, the bigger-brained individuals are humans and dolphins. In birds, it's parrots and crows. However, as scientists' understanding of the brain grew, they discovered it wasn't just size that mattered, or even brain size relative to body size. A big proponent of an animal's intelligence is the density of neurons. This is because having tightly packed neurons leads to better communication between them. And it turns out that certain bird species have very densely packed neurons. In a 2016 study, researchers measured the number of neurons in various bird and primate species. They found that some birds, like corvids, have twice as many neurons as primates with similar-sized brains, with numbers closer to that of larger primates. While these findings tell us how crows are so smart, the question remains as to why. Plenty of bird species thrive with fewer neurons and weaker mental abilities. So why did crows evolve this way? One theory is that it has to do with the way they are raised. Unlike other species, corvids spend more time with their parents. New Caledonian crows are fed by their parents for up to 2 years. During this time, they have ample access to role models who are making and using tools and have the opportunity to use these tools themselves. This extended parenting time allows skills to be transmitted vertically, meaning from parent to offspring. The family groups of many species of crow can be very tight, with young crows even helping to defend their parents' new nest of babies. However, beyond tight family groups, adults of many species of corvids don't lead particularly social lives. New Caledonian crows mate for life, but otherwise don't really interact with other adults. Other species of corvid will often forage and roost in large groups, or work together to mob a predator. But there isn't a social hierarchy or complex social bonds in these settings. This seems to go against one leading theory of intelligence, called the social intelligence hypothesis. Chimpanzees, for example, live in large and complex social groups, where they have to interact with others outside their immediate family and keep tabs on many relationships. It's a constant game of politics. Dogs, wolves, and even orcas have to deal with a great amount of social complexity. And this social intelligence needs a lot of brain power. If adults of many of the smartest corvids don't live in complex social groups, why would a similar intelligence have evolved? Adult corvids may rarely live in wide social groups, but often juveniles do. Before pairing up with a mating partner, during their teenage years, some species of corvids live in larger flocks, aptly called juvenile gangs. And these gangs work exactly like they sound. A bunch of teenagers hang out and bully each other and fight. In these angsty years, corvids, like ravens for example, form the many relationships that they have to keep tabs on. And intriguingly, corvids may need social intelligence to interact with other species. Outside of Yellowstone National Park, certain ravens have been seen interacting with wolves, especially wolf pups. The animals have been seen playing tug of war, and the ravens tease and entice the puppies to jump and grab sticks. Sometimes the ravens will even pull the wolves' tails. By all accounts, it looks like the animals are playing. Some scientists think that individual ravens may even develop special bonds with individual wolves within a pack. This relationship building may help the ravens more readily scavenge the wolves' kills. This propensity to interact with other species has some groups wondering how we may be able to cooperate with corvids. One idea is to train crows and other corvids to pick up cigarette butts or garbage. A few different companies are developing devices that will autonomously train the birds, giving them a treat once they place the trash into the device. A theme park in France has already been undertaking a similar operation. They trained 6 rooks to pick up trash 4 days a week under the supervision of the park's falconer. While it may seem like we're taking advantage of these birds and their intelligence by having them do something we should already be doing ourselves, those involved seem to have good intentions. It helps the environment, teaches humans to cooperate with another species, and teaches the public about these intelligent creatures. By studying other intelligent species and what made them that way, scientists have gained a better understanding of the brain and its development. And for all we know, we could be overlooking other small-brained species that could harbor a higher intelligence. Other animals that can help us unlock the many secrets of the brain. I love talking about animal intelligence on this channel because I love the way the brain works. I love its mysteries and its unbelievable power. And because of this, I love the feeling of learning, of grasping new concepts, of those moments of sudden understanding washing over you. When physics and math and chemistry and biology start to click together, feeling like one beautiful interconnected machine that explains our universe. And I'd like to think that crows feel this too when they get their treat out of the tube. And to engage myself in STEM learning, I use Brilliant. Brilliant is an amazing tool for learning STEM interactively. The quizzes, puzzles, and downright delightful animations make the learning engaging, where it almost feels like a game. And if you get stuck on a particular question, Brilliant doesn't penalize you or impede your progress. Instead, they give you an in-depth explanation to guide you to the right answer, so you can learn from your mistakes. It's easy to learn in this low-pressure environment, and most importantly, it's easy to learn by doing. There are so many courses to dive into, from neural networks to algorithms, to logic and probability, or my new favorite, scientific thinking. Nature is a puzzle, and in this course you get to learn about principles of physics and engineering by playing with mechanics, energy, and light in a bunch of interactive puzzles. To get started for free, visit brilliant.org/realscience.
So much, which recreates a real earthquake. Oh, dang.
But what I'll actually be putting on here is this 2D ant nest and filling it up with the 1000 ants, of course. Basically, these ants will dig out tunnels along the glass like my last ant video, but throughout that process, the earthquake machine will lightly go off to gently collapse the tunnels while the ants are digging. That way, I can show you how ants evolve to survive earthquakes in the wild, and if they pass, they move on to the more and more interesting disasters. Now, as you could probably imagine, the ants wasted no time to get to work. Ants are so tiny, and while a single ant would basically be able to make no progress whatsoever, when you have a 1000 ants, things are done at an insanely rapid pace as workers started picking up grains of sand along the glass so each tunnel could be formed. It's so cool to see time-lapse footage of these tunnels being made because they literally dug out this entire amount of sand in only like 6 hours.
So I'm wondering what's gonna happen to these tunnels when I turn on this earthquake machine.
Now, I started by turning it on the least powerful setting.
Okay, it's shaking super slowly. Now, it's my goal to make sure not a single ant is harmed in this video. I just want to show you how insanely smart they are and how they will overcome all these disasters in the wild.
But even this very light shaking was definitely felt amongst the colony. The workers along the top area immediately knew something was off, and they started frantically running around, as you can see. And when we take a look down under the nest where all the tunnels are, you can see those ants were acting similarly. Ants know during earthquakes, their tunnels have the chance to collapse, so all of them were being extremely careful. Very interestingly enough, in this room here, many of the ants were gathering up on the walls of the room to add an extra layer of support so it wouldn't collapse. But of course, when an earthquake happens in the wild, a part of the nest is bound to collapse, so it wasn't long until this happened. A bit of the sand here started to fall, completely blocking off this tunnel. I immediately turned off the machine to make sure the ants wouldn't be too stressed out while they had to commence a rescue mission. Because as you can see, while most of the ants were able to squeeze out, like this guy here, at least one ant was partially trapped in this collapsed tunnel. But amazingly, it looked as though one of the ants was already picking up some of the sand from the collapsed portion to clear it out. And yeah, literally so quickly, the ants excavated the entire collapsed tunnel, enough to where it was a perfectly functional area to walk through again. And funnily enough, some of the ants even started to walk in and slowly dig out the area where the sand had just collapsed from to make a new tunnel there.
Wow, the ants just completed this natural disaster. They are so smart. But the natural disasters are designed to get more interesting as the video goes on. So next up, we got a sandstorm. Yes, ants, you heard that right. And this will be taking place in the separate desert enclosure.
Yes, we need to have a separate tank so that way I can make the sand blow around like crazy to replicate a real sandstorm.
And along with this blow dryer, I've also got all these fans that clamp to the walls. And I can just set up to constantly blow the ants back.
For the ants to be able to pass this disaster, they're gonna have to do something like grab onto each other's bodies or something to be able to push past this intense wind. And if they can make it to this canyon, climb up it, and make it to the Terra Green Leaf Bowl, then they're gonna get a ton of seeds, which is their favorite food.
All right, let me just hook up this tubing like so. And the ants should start coming. Let's go.
Yup, and this tubing is set up so once an ant enters the disaster, they can't get out. That way, we'll progressively get to see more and more teamwork as time goes on. Now, immediately, you could see these first ants just kind of thought this was a normal desert as they were walking through it, but quickly, I brought out my mini sandstorm fan and I started to blow. Immediately, the ants started to feel the wind pressure pushing them back and were suddenly not able to walk forward. Some even lost their grip and got pushed back a bit. And as more ants entered the desert, you could tell the sandstorm was keeping them all stuck to the left side of this enclosure.
Yo, this little mini fan is fire for replicating a sandstorm. But no, this is where it gets interesting because now that they know a sandstorm is brewing, how are they gonna figure out how to get to these seeds? Well, let's see.
While most ants kept trying to just walk forward and getting blown back, interestingly enough, many of the ants were gathering up in this back area here near the sticks. And many of them were actually starting to climb onto the sticks. You see, the fan doesn't really blow ants back if they're walking on sticks since there's just so much of a better grip on there. But yeah, the second they climb off and stand on the sand again, they'll get blown back, as you can see. But the ants were starting to learn that they needed to stay on the sticks. So many started to gather up and march towards the right side where all the seeds were located. In fact, this ant was making it dangerously close to the seeds using the stick method. And well, he was able to make it to the little rock canyon and almost was there to the seeds.
Oh my gosh, this ant climbing right now is a beast. I am blowing this fan max speed on him and he is just stuck to this rock.
And as I let my guard down for literally 1 second, this dude made a dash for the seeds, literally running straight towards it, and well, he made it in. And he looked so happy to have gotten those seeds. He was just dancing around in there.
Yo, this ant is crazy. I didn't even have time to blow him back when he got up into this area.
Since the ants passed a disaster, I gathered them all up and put them back into the nest. And I gave them the food prize, which of course they started to take down into the nest over the next 5 minutes.
But ants, I'm not gonna lie, this natural disaster was kind of easy to pass. If we really want to learn about how ants survive, well, we gotta go to our third natural disaster, a flood.
Yup, and as you can see, I've built another custom tank where the flood is going to be getting simulated. I know there's no water yet, but you'll see how quickly that changes. For now, all you gotta know is if the ants make it all the way to this leaf ball, they'll once again get rewarded with tons more seeds.
These ants have no idea what's about to hit them. Let's connect this tubing so these guys can start walking in.
Quickly, the ants started to make their way in. But before the ants had any time at all to take in their surroundings, I had to activate the flood.
So to make the flood happen, I gotta go down here to this little bucket, plug it in, and then out the end of this tube. Oh yeah, water. Oh shoot, water's coming out. Okay, I just gotta carefully, move that over there. Oh, okay. There we go.
Similar to real life, floods will block off paths for ants while they're trying to travel, so this is exactly what that recreates. And the ants are gonna have to find a way to pass these gaps using the objects I've provided for them. As you can tell, the ants in here immediately were a little confused on what to do. Many were gathering up near the water edge, inspecting what the heck just happened. Some even fell into the water, but don't worry, any ant that falls in, I'll be rescuing and bringing back to the start so no ants get hurt. But also, many of the ants were actually sort of gathering around the objects I had placed in. And as I left my camera recording, I was extremely amazed by what I saw happen. Out of nowhere, this feather started to slightly move. And as I kept watching, it slowly started nudging around more and more. There must have been an ant underneath, and this ant was genuinely moving the feather closer and closer to the water until literally like magic, it was moved almost entirely in, and an ant crawled out right from underneath as soon as that happened. Dang, this guy must have been helping move it.
Yo, these ants are absolutely insane. I don't know what ant just moved this feather into the water, but dang, I mean, let's just see what they do.
It took a couple minutes, but eventually a couple more of the workers started to step onto the feather and started to walk across it to, of course, make it to our second platform. Now, unfortunately, the ants got to do the same exact thing here. Sorry, guys. I know you already did it once. But to my surprise, the ants literally wasted no time to start gathering around these feathers and directly in the area under them. And while it took a couple hours, eventually my camera caught this same exact thing happening. The feather slowly inched towards the water until, well, it had made a bridge across almost.
Let's go, ants. Now, I did help them a little bit by just moving the feather up onto this platform, but for the most part, they actually were moving those.
And yep, it didn't take long till our first worker stepped onto the final platform and climbed up into the leaf dish to claim their seeds.
All right, well done, little ant, and here is your guys' reward. Well, guys, if you want even better food, you're gonna have to complete this next natural disaster, which is a blizzard. And guys, this is gonna be happening in your nest. Be prepared.
Yup, this blizzard will be taking place inside of the ant nest, so we could study how ants handle the cold in the wild.
Now, obviously, I can't just go and dump a ton of snow on them. That would totally just freeze them all. Instead, I've actually got some ice cubes, which I'm gonna go and just plop on this which, as you can see, this makes a nice little makeshift snow that on my laser thermometer is approximately -Celsius degrees.
I started by sprinkling a super tiny amount of this ice on the ant nest to see how they'd initially react, and interestingly, well, not even a single ant cared at all. Yeah, this ice just melted completely into the sand. Since the ants weren't affected by that, I decided to up the amount of ice I put in, which should give us a reaction to how ants handle the cold in the wild. And this time, the ants were actually a bit more interested in the ice, with some of them even crawling on top of them. But the most fascinating thing I had noticed was how much the ants had started to slow down their movement since the start.
Thankfully, all the ants are doing just fine still, but if you look very closely, these ants, for the most part, have slowed down so much. I mean, look at how slowly some of them are moving.
Yup, this is one of ants' special abilities, because in the winter, when it starts to snow and the temperature drops drastically, the ants are basically biologically built to start moving slower. That way, they can conserve as much energy as possible and go hide deeper underground.
So yeah, in the wild, they would dig even deeper and all the ants would relocate to under the nest. I don't want to put any ants at risk, so I'm going to very carefully take out all the pieces of ice so this place will warm back up to the proper temperature.
And once the tank was warmed back up, I'd say the ants are now ready for their final natural disaster, which this time is a zombie apocalypse.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be the most interesting to watch because I've got 3 different types of insects that, in a way, is going to represent a zombie apocalypse.
Now, our first insect prey is, well, zombie grasshoppers. Yes, these are grasshoppers that Petco sells that are literally like half decomposing and meant for feeding animals. And I'll be bringing them back to life and moving it in front of the ants to see what they do.
And to make the ants swarm this even more, I'm gonna dip some of it in this brown sugar water. And yeah, this is gonna make it super tasty. Without further ado, let's get this in here.
Now, immediately after dipping this in the nest, I started to do a really good, accurate job of moving this around to act like it was alive. And I think the ants were falling for it because you can see they quickly started to climb all over it. And if you also look closely, the ants were actually grabbing onto this thing with their insanely strong mandibles, and they were injecting their venomous stingers into it. Which is kind of unnecessary. This thing is already long gone, but I guess I'm just doing such a good job moving it around that they think it's actually a real zombie grasshopper.
Okay, you guys are doing a good job attacking this. I'm just gonna leave that in there for you while I get this second insect ready.
And yeah, they start to absolutely devour this grasshopper. But anyways, our second insect food is this. They're called wax worms, and they're a staple food for ants because of how squishy they are.
But yeah, they just look so weird. So that's why I'm putting them in the zombie apocalypse section of the video. Let's go ahead and add these guys in.
I decided to put this first waxworm on top of where all the ants were still located around that grasshopper. And well, the ants almost instantly recognized the prey, and amazingly, they knew exactly what to do. And they took this dude straight down into the tunnel system where it wouldn't even stand a chance to fight back.
Oh my gosh, that was like 3 seconds. And now this worm is literally nowhere to be seen. It's probably in the tunnel system. Dang, that's actually kind of impressive, ants.
So I dropped the other 2 waxworms inside, and once again, one of them instantly got pulled down into the tunnel system to get eaten, and this one started to get swarmed. After the ants had a good grasp of it, they literally brought it over to these hills in the back, which eventually the worm was then brought down one of the holes on that hill. It's so cool, because if you guys didn't even realize, the ants have turned these hills at the back into an extra place for more tunnels on the back, and we can literally see the worm down under these tunnels as the ants get their protein from eating it.
Wow, amazing job, ants. But our final zombie apocalypse food is flightless fruit flies. But I'm gonna be dumping so many on the ants, so it's like a proper zombie apocalypse movie with how many zombies there are, even though, yeah, these aren't zombies.
Yeah, these are flightless fruit flies, and if you didn't already know what they are, well, they're flies that can't fly. It's always so funny to me to say this in videos, because seriously, like, how are you a fly that can't fly? Come on, bro.
Okay, anyways, I got about 100 of these flies, as you can see. So, let's dump this zombie apocalypse on these ants. Oh yeah.
Now, as you can probably imagine, dumping this much prey on the ants activates their predator instincts a lot. Because instantly, so many of the ants started to become way more frantic. They started to run around like crazy to try and catch these little flies. Now, I mean, it's pretty obvious the ants aren't going to struggle with eating these flies because they're literally so much smaller. And quickly, I started to notice lots of the ants with these little flies in their mandibles. Yeah, I bet these are tasty.
Well, ants, you've literally survived floods, earthquakes, and so much more. So I'm gonna move.
Breakfast eaten by 4 out of 5 Japanese, but the 5th cannot stand the sight of it. So, foreigners like me barely stand a chance.
It is stringy, it is slimy, it is gross. How do you start with a soybean and end up with a product like this?
This is Hitoshi, representative director of this place, one of Japan's finest natto factories. Joining me to take on Japan's most challenging foods, chef and friend Calvin, and Miss Universe Japan, Kaya.
Day 1, wash the soybeans.
This is like the worst diary entry ever.
Once washed and quality checked, the soybeans are poured into bags, each with its own distinct natto flavor, funk, and level of sliminess. The soybeans are steamed until their texture is just right. To prepare the containers, thin sheets of wood are made wet to prevent cracking. Then they're folded into triangular pouches. Now, some bioengineering. This is bacteria, a probiotic strain actually named natto. It's what ferments the soybeans, giving them their signature texture and aroma.
Long, long ago, the old samurais were boiling soybeans, but then midway, they got ambushed. So they quickly packed their natto in a straw container, and then by the time they got to it, it became the natto that we know today.
That checks out.
After the soybeans have finished steaming, they're poured into trays, then soaked completely in the natto bacteria.
There's not a lot of people who hand make natto anymore. Now it's just commercially made everywhere. So he wants to kind of revive natto in a handmade way.
The soybeans enter a humid 104-degree room where they'll ferment for about 20 hours. Charcoal is used to keep the space warm and control the intense fermentation smell. Artfully crafted natto doesn't sound so bad. Enter the soulless, factory-made convenience store natto. So slimy and pungent, it makes the handmade version seem like a walk in the park.
This is the bottom of the barrel natto.
Sonny, why does it have cobwebs?
Like I said, this literally came from the bottom of a barrel.
We'll try both and test our natto tolerance, starting with the less gooey version.
I actually love this dish. My mother fed it to me all the time.
There's an ammonia aspect to these soybeans. I kind of feel like they're rotten.
I'm told you can put some condiments, but why not try the real pure flavor of the natto?
We love that sliminess.
I am not going to put this into my mouth.
I think you are. It's so sticky. There's strings of natto hanging from your mouth.
It's supposed to be that way.
I kind of like it. It's like a super saturated peanut. The flavor, I mean, it doesn't taste bad, but it's not sparking joy.
This is soy sauce and this is Japanese mustard.
I'm gonna pour a little bit of soy sauce. I'm gonna get a little bit of mustard on there too.
Now you know that this mustard isn't like a mustard you put on a hot dog. This is really spicy.
Oh, like a Dijon.
Even more spicy.
Mega Dijon.
It'll go to your nose, kind of like wasabi.
Like a wasabi Dijon.
Exactly.
Better. After you put those flavors on there, it's more salty. You get some kick.
Thank you. So this Japanese mustard really cuts through that creaminess. I feel fresh. I feel energetic.
Do you feel like this is something you could eat to start your day?
Yeah, but are there any other choices?
Yes.
Yes.
There is.
Great.
Right here. This is a convenience store natto. And let me tell you, the sliminess is on another level.
I'm a huge fan of the sliminess because I feel like that's what makes it natto.
Get a big slimy chopstick full and toss it back. The more I eat it, the more I like it, actually. I don't know what's happening.
I can see how it's growing on you. But for me, I think it tastes like the dirt. It tastes like it's not in a bad way. It's just very minerally.
I came in here thinking, I'm not gonna like this, and I don't wanna like this. And then I ate it, and I liked it a little bit more than I thought I would.
The artisanal one is great. But this convenience store one, it's like just yuck.
And I'm always gonna be a fan of the convenience store one because this is what I grew up eating.
This is just the start of our journey today, because we are going to be exploring some of the most unique, most outlandish Japanese foods that we can find. The foods that people told us not to try. The worst foods in Japan.
Are you ready for this?
No, I'm scared. I don't know what it is.
Our next dish hails from the ocean. The risk with this food isn't just in its taste, but also the potential for pregnancy. And they call it
Shirako.
Yes.
And that translated into English means...
White babies. Lots of babies.
Okay, wow.
in front of us, two types of fish sperm, one from a cod and the other from a puffer fish, the most poisonous fish in the world.
I've never had it raw like this. It almost looks like monkey brain.
I actually have not tried it before.
Shirako reflects Japan's philosophy of using every part of the animal to avoid waste, even if that part is semen.
I totally understand why foreigners and even people in Japan may not be excited to eat this. The texture is very slimy and kind of creamy. However, people in Japan that do enjoy it see it as a luxury ingredient.
The idea of eating sperm from the most poisonous fish in the world is terrifying. So let's ease in with the more common and approachable version of Shirako coming from cod.
The cod is the much smaller one.
Enjoy it with soy sauce and wasabi.
And it's a one bite?
Yes.
Chef, in a moment, I'm gonna put this in my mouth. I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion.
味が
My face will not lie.
顔は嘘つきません。
Whatever happens next is completely unscripted and completely real. That's a nice solid piece. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go for it. It's pretty delicious. It's so creamy.
Creamy, like the middle of an egg. Mild, sweet, but full of umami.
The more you don't think about what it is, the better it is.
But the moment you know what it is, that's when you're like,
It's overwhelming. I couldn't eat a lot of this, maybe 1 pound, but just a couple bites is perfect.
I know one Japanese word, oishi.
Oishi. Right here we have remaining the fugu sperm sac. The fugu or the pufferfish is an iconic poisonous fish. The fish where you have to have a certification in order to prepare it for a customer. And this is its semen.
To extract the pufferfish sperm safely, a licensed chef must first drain its blood and remove its toxic organs with perfect technique, as one wrong move could mean potential death.
This is just a big sack.
I love it. It's like a scallop. You taste the sea. You want to have a sperm sac that has a lot of that gushiness.
There's some of that seafood brininess, just a hair.
It melts in your mouth.
It definitely was melting. For me, I would say the first one, I think it was pretty good. Second one kind of was pushing me towards my limits of what I'm comfortable with.
I definitely have to agree with you on that. The second one took me by surprise.
I disagree with both of you. I think the second one had a flavor composition that I couldn't find anywhere else than the fugu sack of semen.
Up next, a food many Americans will find heartbreaking.
This is a very unique restaurant, a restaurant serving a food that could be considered controversial. In fact, this is illegal in the country that he and I come from.
This is horse. Mr. Ed, your daughter's dream pet, and a protein-packed legend in some parts of the world. Right now you're seeing 4 cuts of that beloved animal, all served completely raw.
Is your izakaya here specializing in horse meat?
馬刺しの専門店です。
This is a horse meat specialty restaurant.
Some of the reason people say Wagyu is so good is because they massage the cows and they listen to classical music and they drink beer. How are these horses being treated?
大きい1トンの
We make sure that there's no stress and they're being fed quality food, making sure that this tastes really good. Maybe the best horse meat in the world.
こちらが
This is the heart of the horse. There's a very strong taste of iron in it, but when you cook it, it kind of tastes like beef tongue.
But we will not be cooking it.
This is going to be the best, most fattiest part of the horse, and it's the belly.
There's a lot of marbling going on in there. Now, why is there so much fat on a horse? Because a horse is lean.
That's the only part basically where fat will typically accumulate.
Well, that's true.
This is the loin.
Would it be the meat that goes along the spine?
Below the shoulder blade.
と日本の
It tastes like the most red part of tuna.
No striations of fat, it's just pure muscle fiber.
It's his favorite part.
And then finally, this.
This is gonna be the mane of the horse, and it's also gonna be the fattiest part with 99% fat. It's amazing for replenishing you if you're tired, but it tastes like you're biting into a stick of butter when you eat it.
I don't hate that.
Unlike in the USA, where horse meat is taboo, many Asian and European countries see it as a delicious and nutritious staple.
Before, it was more common for men, but nowadays it's becoming more popular with the ladies. 60% of the customers are male, and the rest are 40% women.
The super progressive people, their minds are exploding right now because they're like, more women, that's good, but it's horse, that's bad. There's a ton of Americans out there who would be totally fine with a cow dying and eating that cow, but then when it comes to the idea of eating horse, it's too much for them.
I don't see the taboo with eating a horse. I think it's okay.
We have a surprise bonus meat right here, that being the horse tongue.
This horse tongue may be bizarre and baffling, but at least it's cooked, and hopefully it'll warm us up for the raw horse meat experience.
Horse tongue should never be sliced this way. Tongue needs to be braised. Tongue needs a lot of time to just cook low and slow. All the fibers start breaking down. Here, they're just slices, almost like a sweet potato.
Imagine coming to Japan as an American, telling the chef that he prepared the horse tongue the wrong way.
Once seared, remove from the pan and slice into thick pieces. Season with salt and pepper. Return the slices to the pan for a quick final fry and serve.
This is just like a big, broad piece of meat. Ooh, peppery.
I wonder, is this going to taste gamey?
I wonder that too. My first time having horse tongue. Let's go. I like it. The texture is something completely different. Much more springy, bouncy, almost like eating the cow udder, but much more interspersed fat inside.
The fat of it is kind of yellow and not white.
An older cow would have yellow fat on the beef. I wonder if this horse is a young horse or an older horse.
And I wonder its name.
It's horse sashimi time, so let's get to it.
It's best to start from horse belly.
So I'm picking up the sashimi. To me, it looks amazing. We have a soy sauce so dark it almost looks like squid ink here. I love it. What's not to love?
The oil, the more you chew it comes out.
It's like there's these lean, chewy sections mixed with that marbled fat that's just oozing flavor. The salt brings out even more of that horsey goodness.
How can this be hated?
That's what I'm saying.
The fat really permeates the mouth, but it's not gamey. I thought horse might have had a little bit of a funk.
I contend that horse is even less gamey than beef. I think it's a very neutral red meat.
Next would be the horse loin.
A very lean cut of meat here. Give it just a little kiss of soy sauce. Oh, wow. God, that is so good. It's a very different experience, though.
Much more fresh.
That loin is so sweet.
Fantastic. This is less chewy, it's tender, and it's a consistent texture throughout. It's almost exactly like tuna.
Oh, that's why he calls it the tuna of
The land?
the land, I guess. Next is the heart of the horse.
Horse hearts are gigantic. That's why horses are good at horse racing. In fact, almost any other animal, not great at horse racing. Goats?
Have you seen a goat horse race?
I would like to. Springy. Different texture again.
This is softer than all the cuts we've had so far, definitely.
I think that's more soft.
That one.
Really? For me, it was,
Do you have any other feedback about it? More accurate?
I don't taste much of the blood as I thought I would.
Me either, but still delicious. Finally, we have this.
The horse mane, and it should melt in your mouth like butter.
I like butter.
Wow, that is pure fat, and it's warm.
As my tongue is warming it up, the fat starts to dissolve.
I got a little horsiness in there.
It does have that horsehair mineralness to it. I kind of feel like I'm eating a thoroughbred.
It's like eating raw octopus, where you can keep chewing, but it's not breaking apart into smaller pieces. Far different from the other pieces, but still pretty good.
This is definitely a food that's misunderstood, and I wish that more people were inclined to eat it and see it in a different way.
For me, the sashimi is 10 out of 10.
That horse sashimi changed my mind on what horse meat is.
This changed your mind, but I'm not so sure that our next food will change your mind.
For our finale, we're facing the most revolting scavenger to ever enter a kitchen.
Hello, chef. Last time I was here, I was eating a horse penis. Today, we're here for another bizarre food. Before we talk about the elephant in the room or the isopods on the plate, let's talk a little bit more about your restaurant here. Can you explain for the audience what the theme is of Rice and Circus?
This establishment is run by head chef Yukihiro, who's cooking up anything but comfort food. Dedicated to the twisted humor he finds in shocking patrons, he serves the likes of boar testicles.
Oh, shit. Oh, thank you.
And a food I've come to know all too well.
That's big.
Horse penis.
That tastes pretty good.
But today, he'll outdo himself with isopods.
These are known as the cockroaches of the sea.
Oh, jeez.
I want to show you something. First of all, it's got about 10 legs on here. It's got a tail, and then it has this right here. This belly is full of putrid detritus from the ocean floor. It is smelly. It is disgusting.
Dead fish, dead squid, whatever decaying matter drifts downward, they'll devour it. Visually, conceptually, spiritually, they are the antithesis of food.
I'm excited. I can't wait to eat this.
What part of the isopod do we eat?
You eat everything but the intestines. Oh, you can eat the shell too.
Oh, fantastic. That's something I've never done before. Are you looking forward to this?
No.
First, each isopod's abdomen is slit open. the stomach's black, rotten contents are dumped. But this part, some hellish internal organ, is served raw as a bit of a side snack. Now the isopods head straight into the deep fryer. With endless better alternatives out there, this horrifying dish serves as a once-in-a-lifetime culinary roller coaster.
It's super popular. He makes it every day.
All right, so I trust this man. Listen, this guy, I put his horse penis in my mouth.
Well, I trust him that you trust him for putting a horse penis in your mouth.
Kaya, do you trust Calvin?
I trust Calvin because he trusts you because you let him put a horse penis in your mouth.
Fantastic. Let's eat.
Sprinkle with salt, then off they go.
We have a tour of insects on our table, both insects from the land and insects from the sea. And it's all gonna start with this right here. This is a special type of sake. They've infused the sake with something special. Any idea what those are?
I'm hoping it's the silkworms.
It's cockroaches.
Oh, God.
This isn't a traditional drink, rather an unhinged creation you'll only find here.
I've never even seen a cockroach in Japan yet. So this is my first time, and to be consuming it is absolutely crazy to me.
You ate the cockroach?
Well, I swallowed it.
Good job. I felt it bump up against my lips. Felt a little hairy. This is a distinct type of sake. It tastes like poison.
I only took like a very little sip, but it had a strong punch and flavor to it.
That was awful. Of course, in a moment, we're gonna be diving into the isopod, but first, a little bit of an appetizer.
Heat up some oil. Toss in silkworms and let them sizzle, spit, and pop.
Why am I so excited about this?
It looks like a caterpillar.
Basically a caterpillar.
Yeah.
I never thought to eat one.
While highly nutritious, they are still creepy insects that most Japanese avoid, and all the chef is using to flavor them is salt.
It was crawling on a branch. It has these sticky feet on the bottom. You see its little mouth here, busy munching leaves. Oh, God. I got a little bit of a gush. It popped like a balloon.
Oh, there's no water here either.
Oh, there's okay.
No, I'm good.
Not to be diabolical, they asked to bring water and I said no. We're not here to wash it down. We're here to enjoy some cool food. Hey, this is an animal and somebody cooked this.
I'm so sorry.
They're delicious. The insides, it's nutty, it's savory, it's almost like sesame oil.
The inside texture is somewhere between a paste and a sludge.
I got more paste.
I got a lot of sludge.
I will say I love it. I really enjoy the flavors and also the textures.
You know what? Good for you.
Moving on to our next and final food of the day. This is the isopod. We also have a accompanying sauce.
Even the chef doesn't know what part of the internal organs this is. It's also raw.
Try to inhale it.
It smells rotten, putrid.
Well, I think we try this first and we'll build up to that. Cheers.
Cheers. Ow. Ow.
It's like eating a water bug. There's so much shell. There's so much keratin. You just chew and chew and chew and it breaks a little bit, but it's hard to make it break apart. I don't think I can swallow this.
I swallowed it.
Oh, wow. As you work your way up to the middle, it gets a lot juicier inside.
More like gush.
I actually like it. It tastes like seafood, and I like how he seasoned it.
I do like the flavor, but there's nothing to really bite into other than exoskeleton.
Got it. So listen, this is brutal, but there's one thing that could make it better. An unidentified, mashed up, disgusting piece of organ. This is the final boss. Let's get our little tiny spoon, grab a dollop. Folks, let's give it a shot. The final bite of the day, and perhaps the reason this is one of the worst rated foods in Japan. Cheers. It's so gooey, it's so goopy.
Kind of stays on your tongue.
Oh gosh.
I love this. The taste of it is sweet, is distinct. The slight bitterness, a bitterness that's sweet. It encapsulates the entire palate. Those guts are effing delicious.
My heart rate got a lot faster.
Yeah, that was tough. The texture was very off-putting, like eating gack.
Why would you ever eat gack?
Right, and why would you eat this? I am not a fan. I say thank you. I say arigato gozaimasu.
Now, let's move my cars out of the garage.
So let's fire this thing up. Woo, and this thing is loud. I forget how loud this thing is. Very loud, very quick. Uh-oh, we have a problem. We're out of gas. Now we should be good. And this is my G-Wagon monster truck. Not anywhere close to a Lamborghini, but it is a little bit of a hint as to what supercar we're buying today.
Steven, what's the world's cheapest Lambo?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you before I tell the sheriff, fam.
Just tell us. Wait, I want to go to the dealership with you.
Oh, you thought we were taking this to a Lamborghini dealership? No, 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 no. We're taking that. Hop in, let's go.
Bro, wait, what even is this?
It's our rental car, get in.
Oh, is it even legal to bring a car this cheap to a Lamborghini dealership?
Yes, it is. When you're buying the world's cheapest Lamborghini, you might as well bring the world's cheapest rental car.
Steven, look how bad you parked, bro.
No time to worry about that. They're finally open. We gotta get inside. And
Yo, look at these cars, though.
Wow, wait, they have the brand new Lamborghini Temerario. Yo.
Oh, no way.
This is brand new. This is over like 1,000 horsepower. Dude, carbon fiber everywhere. Look at this thing. Oh, it's locked. But no time to worry about that. We gotta go in here.
Yeah.
The world's cheapest Lamborghini is inside here and they're officially open.
Yes.
So let's go in and let's reveal my brand new cheapest supercar. This is awesome. Oh, wow. They are packed.
Steven, this one's sold. Is this yours?
No, this is definitely not the world's cheapest. This is a Lamborghini Revuelto. This thing's like $800,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, these things, look, $782,000. These things are massively expensive.
No.
And they are nowhere near the world's cheapest Lamborghini.
Wait, what about this one?
Nope. This is a Revuelto as well. I think it's for sale right now for like $680,000. So
whoa.
Definitely not what we came to Lamborghini Philadelphia to get. In fact, there's our salesman right here.
What's up, Steven?
Oh, there you are.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good, good,
Hanging
good.
in there?
Yeah.
Have a good flight?
Good flight. We're here, we're in town, and we are
Excited.
ready to buy the world's cheapest Lamborghini.
Certified, too.
Wait a second, is that it?
Oh, no, wait, hold up. Wait.
No way, wait, this isn't my car. This is not the world's cheapest.
Yo.
This thing's $674,000.
That's what I was saying.
Well, I got confused. I thought the cover meant it was my car under wrap.
It still could be.
No, 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 I'm here to stick to the
right
plan.
there?
No, I'm here to stick to the plan.
You gotta help me put this back on now, because this is for someone else.
My bad.
All right, now we're good. The car you are interested in actually just arrived, and it's back in our service center. It's not ready for delivery, but it's getting ready.
Getting cleaned up and detailed?
About to be.
Okay.
So we gotta go through it, do all the certification and everything like that. So almost there.
Perfect, let's go check it out. I'm so excited. I saw this thing online. As soon as it came up for sale, I was like, I have to have it. It's gonna be so cool. It's the world's cheapest Lamborghini, which means
Certified.
it's going to allow us to do so many different projects to this thing and really transform this Lamborghini into a one-of-a-kind, one of one. It's gonna be so cool.
All right, let's go back to the service center. Can't wait to show you your car. By the way, no cameras back here.
Wait, what?
Oh, no cameras. Clients' cars.
Oh, shoot. I guess I just have to stay back here then.
All right, you stay there. I'll just go check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. It looks really good.
Yeah, so this is our service center. This is where all the cars get inspected, certified, checked out, everything. So this is where all the cars, our technicians are working hard, doing the over 100-point inspection for the Lamborghinis. Making sure we're delivering the best cars on the planet.
Shoot, I really want to see the Lamborghini.
Wow, is this it right here?
So this is one of our pre-owned, going through rigorous inspection, making sure it's all good. This isn't your car. Your car's still in the back.
No way. They're looking at the world's cheapest certified Lamborghini.
Wow, you have so many cars back here.
It's pretty crazy.
Oh, wow, is this it?
Yeah, so just making sure everything's up to Lamborghini standards, and not only that, but our standards as well. And then we got to clean it up.
Wow, this is probably the only time I'm gonna be underneath my Lambo, but this thing looks great.
So since you like it so much, you want to go do the paperwork now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
That's perfect. And then you just moved to Miami, right?
Yes.
You want to ship there?
Yeah, let's ship it to Miami. That's easier.
We'll do that.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Did Steven just buy it? Oh shoot, they're coming back.
So now we got to go do paperwork.
Yeah, car looks great.
Yo, did you buy it?
Almost. Gotta fill out the paperwork. It actually is way more pretty in person than I thought. And the best part about getting a Lamborghini from Lamborghini Philadelphia is that they hook you up with merch. As soon as I sign this paperwork to buy this car, I will be copping some crazy Lambo merch. Lambo hat? Yo,
oh, that's nice.
Lambo camo mugs.
That's sweet.
I might be getting one of these. But I gotta sign the paperwork first to make the car officially mine.
So this is our configuration room. So this is where you'll order your Lamborghini. Got some swag here for you as well.
No way, is this for me?
Yeah.
Woo, I told you, Sharers, Lamborghini Philadelphia hooks me up.
And I got more waiting for you that I'll get to you later.
All right, let's just sign this paperwork. The more swag, the better. Oh, and look at this room, by the way. This just shows you all the crazy stuff you can do with a Lamborghini. The different color leathers you can choose, different wheels, everything. There's so many options.
And you got more paints available over here, more leathers as well. So any leather, be something like
lime green. Oh, you can even do a lime green seat belt
with.
That's sweet.
Oh, lime green paint. Ooh, that's sick. And Sharers, this just shows you how crazy you can customize Lamborghinis. But Sharers, keep in mind, this is the world's cheapest Lamborghini, so it's gonna need a lot of customization.
Well, hold on. This is the world's cheapest certified Lamborghini. So you're getting a car that passes Lamborghini's inspection, fully serviced, and comes with an extended warranty. So you're covered if something goes wrong.
Even better. Let's sign the paperwork. Oh, thank you. No way. Lamborghini Espresso.
Fancy.
How is it?
Great.
All right, so let's do the paperwork here. So just got a few forms for you to fill out. There are wire instructions for you to send the wire. First form, if you want to sign right down there. So give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna get this processed, and then, yeah, we'll get it shipped down to Miami for you.
Awesome, 10 minutes, sounds good. Perfect. I couldn't have done it without every single one of you, so thank you all for all the support. I can't wait to see all the ideas you come up with on how we can customize this. It's gonna be the coolest Lambo on the road.
Can't believe someone finally bought the world's cheapest certified Lamborghini.
And when I tell you I'm going to customize this new car like crazy, I mean it. You remember I did the world's first diamond Lamborghini wrap on this car. I also added an exhaust, a tune, and I added purple racing stripes. Then for this McLaren, I added orange racing stripes. I even added them to the carbon fiber rear diffuser, which I think looks really good. Then of course, I tuned this thing to shoot flames. And then on the inside, I added orange to the interior. And then for my next car, unfortunately this is not mine, this is Wistar Motors.
But Steven, this is a Lambo. Is this a hint of what supercar you're getting next?
Anyways, this is the monster truck G-Wagon. Started originally gloss black. I added an aftermarket exhaust. Whoa! I had this wrapped blue. Then I had the world's first ever color changing wrap installed on it. Then I changed this to purple and lime green and even did custom Share the Love brake calipers. Oh, not to mention, this car has Starlight headliner. Over 1,000 shooting stars in this roof. Oh, check this out. There's even fan mail in the back of here. How did that end up in here? Shout out to you, Nadia. Don't know how this got in here, but I'll take it, thank you. So you know the next supercar I'm adding to my collection is going to be customized like crazy, and most importantly, Sharers, you all are going to help me customize it by choosing colors, choosing wheel options, choosing upgrades. It's going to be our project car, which is why I'm buying the world's cheapest, so it allows us to have a budget to